Right, how you doing, people? It is, what day is it? It's a Thursday. Just had an appointment with the accountant, which went pretty well. Before I left to go to the accountant, I thought I'm going to chuck my camera gear in the car, I'm going to drive home via Dartmoor, and I'm going to get a sunset on Dartmoor. Believe it or not, hey tools there. No sunset. Can't see a bloody thing. I reckon I can see 40 meters in front of me and that's it. So I'm not entirely sure where this video is going to go. I think what I might do is just continue to drive home anyway. I like this, it's quite atmospheric. And just see if there's any shots on the way. So let's jump in the car and have a drive and see what it's about. There ain't going to be no sunset, I can tell you that. Oh well. Hang tight. Unless you know Dartmoor really well, you're probably not going to be able to guess where I am. But so what I might do is drop some map points, just in case you want to come back and video or shoot these locations. But mist, trees, I reckon there might be something here somewhere. So I've ditched my car off the side of the road, quite eerie. Might be something here. So I'm going to have a little walk about, see if I can find some compositions. I haven't got a clue what my shutter speed is looking at this. Hoping I don't need my tripod, but ooh, it's cold. Quite like this scene in front of me. Looks like this used to be an old track. I don't know if these were like fence posts or gate posts or something once upon a time, but quite like, a little mushroom, quite like these stones in the foreground here, and there's a bit of a gap between the one on the far left and the sort of the three on the right. You can see the tree through the gap. I quite like that. I don't really want to, I know I can shoot it handheld with the old put my ISO up, but why bother if I've got a tripod? I know Popsy wouldn't be happy with this. He's not into his tripods, but and as you can hear, I'm literally, the road's about 10 foot behind you. Oh yeah, I quite like that. Didn't think I was going to find something. Well, saying that, it looks really good on the back of the camera. It might be pants, but you can't really see it, but because it's misty, there's loads of lot of moisture in the air. So every sort of 10 foot, give your camera lens a clean. There you go, look, bit of moisture. Didn't looked like it was clear, but just giving him a wipe. I quite like that. What should we go for? Let's go for F10. Put my ISO right down to 100. Put 2-second timer on. Getting a 1/6 of a second. Come a little bit closer to the rocks, so I'm sort of in amongst it a little bit. Taking a shot, F10 ISO 100. It's giving me a shutter speed of 1/4 of a second. Deedly deedly dee dee. Bloody busy on the roads, I don't know if you can hear that. I've had an amazing, really strong sunset now behind this. Oh, it'd be awesome. Again, in amongst a tree in the background. The rocks are over there, and this was a tree that was in the background. Now I would like that tree sort of left third of the frame leaning into the scene, but if you can see in the background there's a couple of other trees, so it's kind of making the background messy. I know I could clone them out in Photoshop. I might do actually, I might take the shot, but because the background's just white and misty, I think this tree here would look nice kind of there, and the tree just falling into the shot and just this open space. So I might take that shot, and if it comes out well, and I am any good at removing distractions in the background, it's going to look like this. If it didn't come out any good, you won't see it. In fact, I quite like the shot, because when the tree's leaning over, when this foreground tree's leaning over, the trees in the background aren't interfering, it's not touching, it's not falling into them. So I've got the foreground tree leaning over, and then there's a gap before the trees in the distance, so it doesn't look too bad. So what I might do is, here's the shot with the trees, and I might have a bit of an edit if I can, and take the trees out. And I quite like it with the lines of the stones in the foreground as well. So yeah, not too bad. It's not sunset though, is it? Love the way this tree grows. Oh, look at that. If anyone's into their mushrooms or macro photography, I've already dropped a map of where this place is. There's mushrooms inside here. Cool as. I'm thinking there might be quite a cool shot. By the way, I'm not taking these pictures then running the video. I'm not getting the pictures in the bag then doing the video. I'm taking these pictures as I go along, so I'm hoping I should get them in the bag really, and then bang me guns afterwards. But there's kind of a leading line to the poof. Just looking at all of the distractions in the background. Sometimes it's nice to go low, but then again sometimes it's nice to go a bit higher, especially now because I can see there's a crack in the base of the tree there, and I'm just making sure that the tree's not blending in with any other trees. Yeah, sort of bottom left, got the fallen, what you call it, the trunk of the tree, and then boof, goes up into the crown. Left of the scene in the background is a little thorn or something like that. There is another tree that's interfering with the crown of this one, but I'm hoping I'll get away with that. I might actually remove that, I don't know if I should or not, but I quite like that. All these shots in one location, look. Driven past here loads of times. Loads of times, in fact. 1/4 of a second, f10. I could probably just go f8 to be honest, or even less, because I only want this in focus. Everything else is really soft because of the mist, but I quite like that. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If that's any good, that'd be me not front cover, that'd be me thumbnail for this video. Oh, I didn't know my stomach in, never mind. Right, I think that's pretty cool from here. I'll jump in the car, have a drive along, see if we can find anything else. Cool. Oh, and if anyone's wondering, I'm just shooting in AV mode. That's why I got my tripod. AV mode, ISO 100. F10's kind of good depth of field. 2-second timer. Yeah, why did I say that? Because I'm letting the metering system do its thing, and it seems to be doing pretty well. When I look at the histogram, I've got a bit of space to the left and a bit of space to the right, so I can have a play when it comes to editing. So, moody, innit? Let's have a little drive along, see if we can find something else. Cool. Right, I've literally driven down the road, I don't know, 1/2 a mile, 3/4 of a mile, and there's a gate on the right. Well, no, I drove down that road, I took a left, headed towards Ashburton, and then about 100, 200 metres down the road there was a gate on the right to Woodland. Woodland, mist. There's got to be a nice shot in here somewhere. Problem is, by the gate, I think they've knocked a lot of trees down. So I'm just walking into the woodland a little bit, see if I can find something. It's gorgeous. See, as I'm walking along beside this woodland in here, looks eerie, doesn't it? And the white almost looks blue. What I'm trying to find amongst the trunks of the trees, it's like a pretty little beech tree or something with a bit of a colour pop to it. So I can have the trunks of the trees and then set within them a little beech tree, something like that. Again, I'm literally 10 foot from the road. So yeah, that's what I'm after. Cool little beech tree amongst all the black trunks of the trees. Right, just come across this shot. See this leaning branch? I quite like it. It's all about framing, I suppose. This leaning branch is kind of working as a frame to the shot. But as I was taking it, I shot at f8 because it's getting quite dark in here now. In fact, sunset was probably about an half hour ago. But it's come down to f8 because I only really want that branch, the leaning one and the one, you know, that's my main point and focal point. Everything else, because it's misty, I'm not really worried about. But as I was taking the shot, I think it was like 6 seconds, something like that. There was a couple of people walking a dog in the distance and they come up, we just had a little chat. So if you look carefully, you might see some ghosts in the picture, if I keep a minute. Cool. Alright, as you can probably see, it's a bit dark in here now. I didn't find my beech tree within the woodland, and if it was here I wouldn't see it now because it's too dark. It looks like something out of Dog Soldiers. But I'm walking back to the car. I've been up and I'm walking left and round. I've been all over the shop. This shot here, as you can see, tree on the left sort of curves up and then sort of arches over the top. And there's also a tree on the right, a nice straight one. And it just looks like the gateway to nowhere. Shooting at 24mm, sort of punching in f8, and it's come out at 15 seconds because it's so dark in here. Nice and still, there's no wind. I quite like it. Right people, hopefully you can see me. I'll put my reverse lights on and you're sat on top of my car. Wait for this car to go by. And it's starting to rain. That's about it. Didn't find the beech tree I was looking for, but I ran out of light, which is no good. But cool little woodland. So if you're in the area, to be honest, this woodland would be great in the morning, be great in the rain. But it's just good to be out with the camera, and hopefully that's giving you a bit of inspiration for if you've got a woodland near you when the weather's a bit crap. And you know, because I come out for sunset, couldn't have been farther from the truth. No sunset at all. But yeah, hope you like the images. Ooh, a bit ghosty. This is going out on Friday. If I manage to put a video together out of what I've got, I think I've got a couple of good shots there. Have a great Friday, have a great weekend. As always, there's an affiliate link for some Maven filters down below. Like I've said before, you don't pay any extra. It's just if you buy them through that link, they send me a little bit of money. It's not a huge amount, trust me, but it's just nice. Not that I used any Maven filters in this video, but have a great Friday, have a great weekend. Keep in touch, and cheers for all the new subscribers. Can't believe how many, 1,060 something like that I think I've got now, which is cool. See you next week. Cool. Cheers. Bye.